The Bible says, "Fill your hungry soul with what's good." When we eat, we share, we grow. Every meal is a chance to be fed and to feed someone else. Life is like cooking. When it works, it doesn't matter if the process is fancy or simple. Good food and a life well lived comes down to how much heart you put in. Welcome back. We're in the middle of June, and all this month we are talking about different kinds of breakfast foods. And today I'm making one of my family's favorites, and that's gonna be blueberry pancakes with a little bit of lemon curd. And if you remember, a couple of weeks ago, I did a whole episode on how to make your own lemon curd. You can always buy it in the store, but it's so much better if you make it yourself. So go back and watch that video, make yourself some lemon curd, then come to this one and find out how to make the pancakes, and then you'll have it all together. But let's get started making these beautiful blueberry pancakes. So the first step is set your griddle to about 375 and let that take a minute to warm up. And as it's warming up, we're gonna mix our batter together. So let's start off, and you just want some all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 3 tablespoons of sugar, a half a teaspoon of salt, and just give that a little bit of a mix through. Now we want to add all of our wet ingredients. So start off with 2 eggs, 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter that's been melted, and 3 cups of buttermilk. Now we're gonna add the blueberries not to this batter, but we're going to add them after the fact once we have poured them on the griddle. But nothing goes better with blueberries than a little bit of lemon. And because we're serving this with lemon curd, we kind of want to echo that flavor in the batter. So we're going to add just a tiny bit of lemon zest, maybe the zest of about 1/4 to 1/2 of a lemon. I love the smell of fresh lemon. It's just the best. All right, that should just about do it. And make sure you get all that zest from the back of it. Now we want to give it a really good mix. Now with pancake batter, it really is okay to have a few lumps in there. And what you're looking for is not a precise, smooth batter, but just everything fairly well combined. But don't overthink it and don't overbeat it. So the important thing about pancake batter is that after you get it all mixed up, what you want to do is you want to have it sit, because you're looking for a chemical reaction. You're looking for like little bubbles to come up. And once the bubbles come up and start to pop, then you know your pancake batter is completely ready to go. But you want to give it a little bit of time. Don't mix it and then immediately put it on the hot griddle. Give it some time to kind of just sit there and kind of marry all of the ingredients together. So now we want to prepare the griddle with a little bit of oil. You don't want to have a ton of oil on it because then it's going to fry the outside. So I always just like to take a little bit of a paper towel and just run a bit of oil over both sides. Now that our batter is ready to go, we want to take about 1/3 of a cup to about 1/2 of a cup of batter and get started making these pancakes. Then once you have the batter on there, now's the time to put our blueberries. So as we're cooking these pancakes this morning, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what this brought to my mind. And we talked earlier about letting the batter sit, and it has to have sort of a chemical reaction. It has to kind of work together. And it reminded me of all of the times in my life that I have made a declaration, that I have declared something in my life like, I'm gonna go on this diet and I'm gonna lose all this weight, or I'm gonna read a book every single week, or I'm gonna, these extraordinary statements that you make because you're trying to improve yourself or you're trying to make a difference in your life. And I love that. I love that we're always trying to grow and we're always trying to get to the next level. But also what happens usually is when you make those statements, when you make those declarations, universe or God comes into your life and says, do you really mean it? And sometimes that comes in the form of what can seem like blockades or stopping points or chaos. And really all that is, like I said, God asking you, do you mean this? Are you serious enough to overcome these obstacles that are keeping you from your goal? And the answer always has to be yes. The answer always has to be a resounding yes. Because in order to meet those, we have to clear out all of the garbage and all of that old negative thinking of we can't do it to be able to overcome to meet our goal. So I love that the idea that just like these pancakes take a little bit of time to kind of sit and be what they are, we too have a opportunity to have this kind of a reaction. Do you mean it? You know, is this the time to meet my goals? And the answer is always absolutely. But you might have to overcome a couple of things, or maybe what you have to overcome is self-doubt, or maybe what you have to overcome is somebody in your family or in your friend circle saying, oh, that's a crazy idea, that's never gonna work, don't be dumb about that. Maybe that's what you have to overcome. And you have to believe in yourself enough to go for those goals. And so don't be discouraged if sometimes your life gets a little bit jumbled up when you make these huge declarations. Keep that focus, go forward, and you got this. You can get over these hurdles for sure. So you'll know when to flip your pancakes over when they have these bubbles right on the outside of the pancakes. That's what you need to look for. And you can kind of lift the underneath to see if it got brown enough. And if it's brown enough and you have bubbles on the outside, you're good to go. Go ahead, be brave, and flip those pancakes. Thanks for watching. You can find the full recipe in the description box below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.